A Simplex converted to a Great Western Railway Prairie tank, part 25, fitting the smokebox door. The smokebox door in this image that's painted black was the original one that was fitted to the smokebox of the old boiler, and it didn't have any hinges as such, they were just dummies. The smokebox had a stick-on rubber gasket all the way around it, and in this clip I'm removing it. I'm going to use the other smokebox door on the right hand side. This was fitted to the original smokebox that came with the new boiler. The smokebox I've made for the engine is longer than the one on the design of the Simplex. My new smokebox is 1 inch longer and looks more in keeping with the Prairie tank design. Luckily, when I bought this engine from the owner, he gave me this book with it, which is proving quite useful just to double check dimensions and see how the locomotive is put together. I've compared the smokebox door that I have, and it is the same size as the one shown in the book. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the hinges and clean them up with some emery cloth, just like I'm doing with the smokebox door. Using emery cloth on metal this way is a very important part of the job. It keys the metal ready for the coat of paint. If the metal is perfectly flat and shiny, the paint won't adhere to it. Here's a pair of hinges looking quite a lot cleaner. I didn't show it on the video because it's really difficult to get the camera into a good position, but I reprofiled the end of both of these hinges using my 1-inch belt sander. In this clip I'm refixing the hinges to the smokebox door, but I'm using shorter bolts. These are very small bolts, they're actually 10 BA. The original 10 BA bolts were very long, which is not a problem, you just snap them off. But the problem was that the heads were different sizes on the original ones, whereas the heads on these bolts are all the same size and look a lot better. Once again, both of the hinges are securely fitted to the door. In the bottom right of this image is one of 2 original fittings that held the pin to the smokebox ring. The other one broke when I removed it from the other smokebox. The position of the hinges is a bit of a problem. In this clip I'm using a scriber to make a mark on the smokebox door itself, because this part of the smokebox fouls the hinge pin. All I did was grind a flat in between the 2 hinges. This clip shows the hinge pin in place along with one of the original fittings, and I really don't like this. Using the long hinge pin as a guide, I scribed a couple of lines on the smokebox ring. And then I made these. I didn't bother videoing this process because I did them all in the drilling machine. No lathe work at all, just a simple drilling operation on 2 pieces of square bar. I drilled 2 holes for the pin and 2 underneath for the mounting. I'm threading the hole underneath 5 BA to take a 5 BA bolt. Once the 5 BA bolts were screwed in position, I silver soldered them in place. But on both of them, some of the silver solder ran down the threads. I rectified this by using a 5 BA die in a die holder to clean off this silver solder from the threads. This is definitely a job for the calibrated eye. If you don't have enough confidence to drill the holes in the smokebox ring in the correct place, then you could drill the holes in a small piece of metal and use this as a template to transfer the holes to the smokebox ring. But I like to live dangerously. I live life on the edge. It's the only excitement that I get these days. So I drilled and tapped the holes completely by eye. Then I lined up the fittings using the edge of a ruler. In my opinion, these shaped pieces of square bar look much better than the original fittings. And when I put the pin in place, the door is a perfect fit to the smokebox ring. The joint between the smokebox door and the smokebox ring has to be airtight. By repeatedly opening the door and snapping it shut, I can see that this is the case. It's a perfect fit all the way around. This is the crossbar that was going to be used in the smokebox that came with the new boiler, but I don't like it. I've put it together. Here we see the smokebox dart. You can see how it works. The smokebox dart goes through the slot in the bar, but unfortunately this bar is not strong enough, it will bend. I intend to make a complete new assembly using 2 pieces of square bar this size. That makes for a much stronger construction. The construction is very simple. It's just 2 pieces of square bar with spacers in between. After I've made the unit, I will need to make 2 brackets so that it sits in place inside the smoke box. I'll probably make a new centre shaft which has a square on it for one of the levers and a thread on it for the other. I'll reuse the existing levers, they just need cleaning up with some emery cloth. And that's it for this episode. I'd just like to say, as always, stay safe, stay well, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.